Open Minecraft. What is this? Are you serious right now? Well, okay, I might as well just... Hello, this is my first video on a channel that I started for fun. I had a couple of friends make some jokes about how I could make videos and commentate in them, and I figured why not? So, here I am with my first video, and it may be my last. Anyways, like in all Minecraft worlds. Alright, I think I've traveled enough. I can't seem to find oak trees, so I might as well just start. A lot of people ask me if I do music or not. Or like what equipment I use. It's a question that I don't really like to answer because I don't want to seem like a suck-up, but I'm not all that proud of what I create, so I kind of just leave it in the dark and wait for people to stumble upon it. There's a lot of mistakes about whether I make music like in analog or digital. Now, analog and digital are very different in music production. Analog is using actual instruments that are either acoustic, electric, or yeah, that's about it. Like I said, analog is dealing with real instruments, whereas digital is referring to samples and processes used within digital audio workstations, or DAWs to be for short. This looks like a nice place. Alright. Within digital audio workstations, such as Fruity Loops 12 or Ableton Live, there are different I personally do use VSTs quite a bit for maybe a more digital sound per se, but I do have quite a collection of analog instruments. Back in 2015, I got my first item of music production, and it was a Machine Micro MK2. And it came with the machine software. Now this software was very good for beginners, and I used it a lot. And I still do to this day. It's It's less of me being scared to switch and more of me being already comfortable with what I know in the program. I downloaded it on a summer day and began to work. I'll see if I can find some of my first music files that I ever made. I remember titling one My First Beat. It's on my old desktop and I have to get it. But I'll see if I can find it and post it. The second item was a Korg monologue. And this Korg kind of changed how I made music. And to be honest, the first time I made any sound that sounded good, I kind of went crazy and I thought I was Deadmau5 or something like that. So I started making a lot of different sounds on that Korg. And the weird thing is I've actually never used them in any of my music production. They're just on that Korg, saved. I was using the Korg as a keyboard for playing melodies and such, and just kind of freestyling and learning myself the piano. My dad at the time was cleaning up his music studio, kind of putting everything away, and I asked him if I could have some of his equipment. And so he sent me an M Audio Keystation 49 ES. And wow, this keyboard, it really changed how I made music, because I could actually play stuff and learn cool chords and teach myself the piano. After my Keystation, I decided to get some better speakers than my Mackie ones, which are these little tiny speakers about the size of a iPhone X, but they were still fairly decent for what I wanted to do. I got these speakers and they were very good. I got Rocket 5 monitors, I got 2 of them. I got some good auxiliary cables. I got a Tascam US 2x2. The Tascam was awesome because I could turn down the outside volume but turn it up in my headphones, so I could have 2 different sounds playing out of each. And I like to play around with the live performances, and sometimes I would just spend a weekend messing around and making some cool stuff live. I never recorded it, but I did make some cool stuff. Shortly after that, I received a Mac OS MacBook Air 13-inch, and started making more music on that. This is when I started to get a little more serious in my music creating. I never really had any big plans to start advertising my stuff or earning money with it yet, but it really upped my music performance because I was using a 2009 Mac desktop. It was a bigger screen, but it had like 2 gigs of RAM, and I couldn't run Minecraft at like 25 FPS if I wanted to. I believe it was around 2012 when I first started playing it. I remember I first started playing Minecraft on a Toshiba PC. It surprisingly ran better than my desktop, which I never really figured out later. Minecraft was one of those games that I could, get away to, and it probably took me away from a lot of stuff more than it should have. But nevertheless, I enjoyed it, and Jesus Christ, what is this house? Back to the music stuff. I I used my
high-speed USB 2.07 port hub.
it was a USB gear product, and it really changed how I set up my studio, or quote-unquote studio, because I could finally use everything that I wanted in the same place. I didn't have to unplug things, and all I needed to run was just more cables. I ended up throwing away my old computer desk that was a desk mixed with a bookshelf, and it was about 3 feet long, and it was very massive and heavy. I ended up grabbing a long board from IKEA and putting some legs on it. It's still in my room today, and I enjoy it very much.